Um, Good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, this is not a morning thing. I don't know how I fell out of practice or routine from doing these. Um, and then just decided not to do them in the morning. Gotta rebrand.
Should just
So,
call it ranting with Ryan.
yeah, that's just stupid. That just sounds like some stupid wannabe talk show in the 80s.
I mean, you've got the Donahue glasses.
Fuck you. No, Donahue had the fucking no, Donahue had the big fucking coke rim glasses. Um and of all people you compare me to Donahue, why not Rivera?
He didn't wear glasses. Did he?
Geraldo?
Did he wear glasses?
Hell yeah, he did.
Oh well, okay. Well, do you know who else wore glasses? Sally.
I'm not blonde, thank you very fucking much, nor do I have a vagina.
I was about to say, out of all the stuff you went with, I'm not blonde. You could have been like, I'm not a woman.
And that's a controversial statement in 2023.
True.
Um oh wow.
Controversy creates cash, though.
Yeah, but that cash flow doesn't last long, and then you got to keep, re-upping the or you have to keep finding more controversy, and it's not worth the money. It's not
Honestly,
worth
the only person who the controversy has kept creating cash for has been Eric Bischoff.
How the fuck
That,
did we wander into wrestling territory?
oh no, you said controversy. His book's called Controversy Creates Cash, and I have the book, so it just, you know.
Like, I'm gonna know that. A, I rarely read. B, I don't know. I mean, I don't have, infinite amount of knowledge of wrestling.
That's why you have a friend like me.
That's funny. I was talking to my friend Krista yesterday. She said something to me, and I don't remember what she said, but the way that she said it sounded like Robin Williams as the genie from
Mm,
Aladdin when he was singing "You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me." So I
yeah,
said that to her, and I thought she was gonna pee herself. She goes, "Yeah, I heard it as I was saying it, and I heard the way I was saying it, and yes, you're not wrong." I'm like, "I know I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong." She hates it when I say that.
you thought you were one time, but you were wrong, right?
Maybe, yeah. No, but with her especially, if there is a point that we are debating on, I'm usually right and she hates it.
Yeah,
Um,
I just started itching. Good God.
my right eye's been doing some weird shit lately. But yeah, as far as what we were talking about before we started stream, um, the whole sun drop thing. My mom texted me probably a week and a half ago, and she texted me a picture and she goes, "Have you ever seen this?" And it was this product called Celsius. Like, I've seen it, but I've only seen it online. Like, I haven't seen it in stores. It's this powdered drink mix that you put in your water.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, it's in the supermarket." I'm like, "Okay." Like, next time I go over, I'll look for it. Well, I had forgotten the next time I went over to look for it. But I get a text from her 2, 3 days ago, something like that. Um, she goes, "Have you gotten an Amazon package lately?" And I'm like, "Well, the last Amazon package I got was not even an Amazon package because it was a book that I ordered from Barnes and Noble." I'm like, "As far as packages go, No, I haven't gotten anything lately. Why? And I'm like, but then again, I haven't really because I'm on the informed delivery thing.
Yeah,
Uh, for what the fuck? Who's chatting? Oh, nobody is. Um, the postal service informed delivery, so they let me know when I'm getting mail and what's coming. Like the last thing that recorded on the dashboard for informed delivery was some credit card solicitation, so I really haven't had any need to go down to my mailbox, which is literally right down the hall. Um, I'm like, but I'll go down and check. Lo and behold, went down and checked. There's an Amazon package in my mailbox, and it's this package of Celsius stuff. I'm like, well, thank you. I'm like, because obviously I forgot to go get it. Now, typically because of, like I said, it's a powdered drink mix you put in water. Typically because of my acid reflux, I don't generally think, or I don't generally think, don't generally drink things that are citrus
yeah.
or citrus flavored because my body will hate me for at least an entire day. Um, so I'm looking at it because it's orange flavored. I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. Tried it, tasted great. And I think it's diluted enough to where it's not going to bother me. But when I tell you it goes right through me within probably 30 to 45 minutes after drinking a 12 to 16 ounce glass, which is what you have to drink with this, um, because just by virtue of it being what it is, um, it literally goes right through me, and my abdominal region is in excruciating pain until I hit the bathroom.
Mm.
Oh my god. Um that same reason is the reason I stopped drinking coffee. Um because coffee does the same thing to me. So I don't know if this stuff has caffeine in it. It says healthy energy accelerates metabolism and burns body fat. And me having a type of a different means of physical activity, my metabolism isn't the way that it should be. So this is supposedly supposed to, be the what counteracts that. I don't know if it'll work. I'm supposed to drink 2 a day. Um but yeah, no, that's not going to happen because if it goes through me that quickly and, gives me that much pain in my abdomen, like I'm not dealing with that twice a day.
If it counteracts a low metabolism, I might have to look into it and try it out. Because when I was a little kid, well, all the way through school, my metabolism was through the roof. Like we'd go to
um
Pizza Hut, I could sit down and eat a whole large by myself. Like my parents had to start buying two pizzas.
what I want you to do is look on your keyboard, hit the print screen button, go into Facebook chat with you and me. Um hit control V. It should paste a copy of your screen into the chat box and then enter it. That way you have it saved so you know what it looks like.
So whenever we came in, I closed out the Facebook tab. So just hold it back up a second.
You dummy.
I always do that because otherwise the notifications keep coming through.
No, I get you.
Just take a picture of it that way.
No, I do the same thing. I close out all of my messaging apps because I don't like all of the because it actually makes my computer lag when I
Yeah.
have too many things going on in the background. So I definitely understand that. Um,
It
like I
just
said,
would distract me.
yeah. Um, this particular box has 14 packs in it, so obviously it's going to last me 2 weeks. Um, although, like I said, I guess I'm supposed to drink it twice a day, so it should only last me a week. But if I note it once I finish the 14 packs of it, if I notice any difference, I'll let you know and let you know if it's worth trying.
Okay.
Um, I probably should. It's like they always used to say when you were prescribed medication, you really should take it as it's directionally, stated, because that's really the only way it's going to work properly. But yeah, if I'm having those type of reactions to it, abdominally, I'm not going to take it as directed because I'm not going to put myself through that. uh
So all you need is to drink it and then be on stream.
oh my god, can you imagine having to piss like a racehorse and then you or Amanda say some stupid shit that gets me into a laughing fit? That would be horrible. Holy god. Oh my god, can you imagine having that happen and then me go into one of the laughing seizures? Oh lord. That would be disastrous.
That's where we would need the little thing that pops up saying technical difficulties. And
Yeah. Oh wow. There were so many things that we were supposed to do as far as getting on stream and talking about things,
yes,
but
so
with your schedule, it was hard, and I'm trying to remember all the
the
things
only one I
so that we
remember
can.
was there was something you said about something else dealing with the music industry.
Right, no, that was most recently within the last couple of days, but there were a couple things um that we were going to do that you couldn't do because of work scheduling, and
Yeah.
so I was going to pull other people in and didn't work out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
um
yeah, yeah. I remember the one.
yeah.
Work's been hectic too.
um yeah. Now, I know that this is not your area of music that you listen to. Um, obviously, I talk about Linkin Park and Chester Bennington all the time.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been since 2017 that he passed. Um, he passed in July. Was it July? Why am I forgetting that?
Would it be July 20th?
Fuck you! It's on my hat. I don't know why I just had a brain cramp. It's on my damn hat.
Well,
um,
tomorrow is 420. That's when you're supposed to partake.
that irritates the piss out of me too. I'm going to talk about that in a second too. Um, no, but yeah. So he passed away July 20th in 2017. Um, March 20th. Um, what is it? March 20th is his birthday. Prior to, or not, it was either prior to or just after his birthday was when Chris Cornell passed away. For those who are going to listen to this, if you've been living under a fucking rock and don't actually listen to good music, Chris Cornell was the lead singer for Soundgarden and Audio Slave. Um, eh, good lord.
The hell? She just ran in circles 3 times, barking at her tail, and then walked off.
But anyway, shortly, well, I don't want to say, I can't say shortly. About a year or two after Chester passed away, one of his very first bands before Linkin Park um, called Gray Days. They released an album with previously unknown songs that he had written and recorded with them before they split up, because they were actually in the process of doing a reunion, or staging a reunion, after he was going to be done with the One More Light tour with Linkin Park. He wasn't disbanding Linkin Park, but he was going to get back with Gray Days, just kind of as a reunion thing. Um, but obviously, he passed away before he could do that. Um, but like a year or two after he passed, Gray Days decided that they were going to go through with they were going to take the music and the vocals that were already recorded, and they were going to pull in uh some of the some of the artists that he looked up to finish the record and be able to put it out, and that's what they did. Now, I never heard anything, and I don't know. I don't think that this was an issue. Uh, I never heard anything about Chester's wife, and I'm not going to call. I mean, I understand that, by virtue of him, passing away, she's considered his widow, but I don't necessarily like that title, and I don't think any woman likes that title, um, unless you're from the 40s or 50s. Um, but his wife, I don't think she had a problem with Gray Days releasing music that they had, um, from probably a decade before she even met him, because Talinda, who was his wife when he passed away, was actually his second wife. Um, I think he was with Gray Days either before his first marriage or during his first marriage. Um, but Talinda, who was his wife when he passed, to my knowledge, she didn't put up a stink about them releasing uh, any music that he had done. The reason I, you know, have that long diatribe is for this reason. Um, it's recently, and I probably heard about this last year, but um, and maybe I don't know if it's been, it may have been since he passed, or it may have been within the last year. The reason for that whole long diatribe is, um, it was just announced that the remaining members of Soundgarden came to an agreement with Vicky Cornell, who is Chris Cornell's wife, about releasing tracks that he had recorded with them before he passed. And I'm curious, from and I mean, it's a different situation with Vicky, because I believe Chris and Vicky had been together even when Soundgarden was still big in the 90s. So I think they've been together for decades. Um, my question to you though is, even from a musician's perspective, if you were to pass away, if you were to become a well-known musician and you were to pass away, and obviously Courtney would be in charge of what they refer to as your estate. Um, am I wrong in thinking that the widow, the surviving spouse of the deceased musician, should they have any say in the music that the band releases of that artist? Because I understand that there is now an estate that has that artist's name attached to it because obviously it's all of the things that related to them. But I don't know that I agree with a surviving spouse being able to tell a band that they can't release previously recorded music from their lead singer because it's not going to provide her with financial compensation.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't if it's a band like Soundgarden or Linkin Park, who wasn't just billed as like George Strait. He had a band with him, but
Right.
I think the band should get the say. But if it's a solo artist like George Strait, Kenny Chesney, Brian Adams, whatever, I think the spouse because usually a solo artist doesn't have the same band with them all the time. They rotate musicians.
Right, they have a touring
Yeah.
band. They have touring musicians.
So
But here's the difference. Obviously, when it came to um when it came to Chester, and with Gray Days releasing previously unreleased music that he had done, like I said, my understanding is Talinda didn't say anything about it. She didn't. Hey, Denise. Talinda didn't have anything against it happening. Fast forward to today, um, Mike and the rest of the guys from Linkin Park have released now, I believe it's 3 previous tracks that Chester recorded with Linkin Park, and she still hasn't made a stink about it. The reason I bring that up is Chester and Chris were best friends, and Talinda and Vicky by uh by proxy were best friends because they were always around each other. Why wouldn't Talinda be in Vicky's ears saying it's probably not going to look good if you're arguing with his former bandmates about monetary compensation for shit that he recorded with his band.
yeah,
So I'm curious if you were to put yourself in those shoes and you were kind of put yourself in the frame of mind of you not being here and Courtney taking control of, like I said, what's considered your estate. Obviously you're a solo artist, you'd be a solo artist. So it would probably be different. But if you were to put yourself in the shoes of a band, like a collective band that didn't just have your name on it. Um, A, do you think Courtney would be like that? And B, what would you tell Courtney in the event of your passing? Would you instruct her to be a Karen toward your former bandmates?
no. Let's see. I've been in that like the only band I've ever got to be a part of. I was the lead singer. We were called
Right,
South 12,
right. And I remember you
and
talking about that.
um, if we had made it big, I would have told Courtney, if anything ever happens and they release music, don't fight them. And I don't think she would have. But knowing that we have Adriana, I would have done something beforehand too if they release music. My, put my cut towards Courtney and Adriana.
Right. And to be fair, Chris did have kids
Yeah,
with Vicky. So there were kids involved. I don't know. I believe they were adult children. Um, and for anybody who needs clarification as to what that means, just adult children who were of adult age. Um, not, adults that weren't. That's probably not appropriate to do. Oh well. When have I ever done anything that's appropriate? To
Um,
be fair though, Chester had kids with Talinda and his first wife as well. Um, but even then, it was it was widely discussed um, that obviously both Chester and Chris Cornell dealt heavily with uh, depression and a lot of that kind of mental health stuff. Um, so as much as I don't want to sound like a dick saying this, I think when you deal with depression at the level that they did, I think it's almost inevitable that you are going to be the one that takes yourself out. Um, God, I hope YouTube doesn't flag me for that. I tried to word that as best I could because they don't like the S word. They don't like, all of it.
yeah,
Um, but I think when you deal with mental health to the level that they did, I think it's inevitable that you're going to be the one that takes yourself out. Um, so I think knowing that there was probably something in place for any of the material that was to be released in Chris's situation and in Chester's situation where it would benefit his kids. And I'll be honest, I mean, even though I've never met her personally, I would hope that it would benefit to Linda in some way because she just seems like an absolute gem of a human being. Like I want to meet this woman.
yeah,
Um because as soon as Chester passed, um they did the tribute show for him at the Hollywood Bowl in California. And actually, because Denise is in the chat, Denise, where, in respect to where you are, where's the Hollywood Bowl? Um, I'm curious, but I know I watch the Hollywood Bowl tribute show all the time. It's on YouTube. It's I probably shouldn't put my head in that space as much as I do because it's a 3-hour show and it's extremely emotional. But I've watched it probably 35 times over the last, you know, 5, 6 years. Because in July it'll be 6 years. Um, I forgot where I was going with that, son of a bitch. I don't know. I'm not a musician. Yes, I deal with the mental health stuff, but I'm not a musician. I'm not the spouse of a musician. Um, lucky, 50 minutes away. Um, so I mean, I can't definitively put myself in the headspace of Vicky Cornell or even to Linda Bennington. But um I guess looking at it from an outside perspective, it just seems weird to me that she would go that aggressively against his former bandmates for wanting to put out music um that he previously recorded that hadn't yet been released.
yeah.
Um, because I'll even say that um, although I this is gonna be a hot take that's not gonna get me many friends. Um, I will say that because Chester was active with Linkin Park when he passed, I do fully believe that it was probably far more personal and traumatic for them to deal with his death than his former bandmates from Grey Days. Not saying it was any not saying it was any less impactful, but I think that because of the situation of them being together and active at the same, when he died, I think it may have been a little bit more traumatic. But there was discussion amongst the fans of Linkin Park. They were wondering why they basically characterized it as Mike from Linkin Park dropped the ball in basically letting Gray Days be the first one to release previously unreleased music from Chester versus having Linkin Park do it. Um, because, like I said, we're just shy of 6 years of it happening. As Yeah, 6 years. We're just shy of 6 years of Chester's passing, and we just got 2 or 3 unreleased tracks.
Yeah.
Whereas Gray Days just released their second album of unreleased material from Chester. So the fans, I think, gave Mike a lot of shit um, for being for the way that I heard a lot of people saying it. They felt like he was dragging his balls um, in releasing it. Um, so I don't know. It's weird, dude. Like the whole situation's weird, and I know that I'm not, directly involved in any of it. So people are probably wondering why I'm even voicing my opinion. When you're a fan of a band that has that much of an impact on you as a listener, um, you're obviously going to feel very strongly about things that happen that relate to that band as a whole or the individual members of that band. Because I can guarantee that even though Chester was the front facing, you know, image of the band, um, if anything were to happen to any member of Linkin Park, I guarantee the fans would be just as impacted because Chester was the voice and he was the visual representation that everybody could relate to, but I guarantee that they connected with the entire band.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Linkin Park was Mike's baby. You're not wrong. I do know that. Chester was brought in and hired on. So I do get that Linkin Park was Mike's baby. Although I will argue they didn't actually start calling themselves Linkin Park until Chester was with them. Originally they were called Zero, and then they actually tried referring to themselves as Hybrid Theory, but then when they decided on Linkin Park, that's when they released their first album, which was Hybrid Theory. Like that was their debut. The name of their debut album was Hybrid Theory. Originally, the band itself was going to be called Hybrid Theory. Um, so I'm Denise, you're not wrong that the original concept was Mike's baby. I just think it took on a different life of its own once Chester was brought into that and created the element that we know as Linkin Park. And actually, um I I don't I've heard speculation that they named themselves Linkin Park, but stylized it in that way to be different. But I've heard that they named themselves Linkin Park because of an actual Linkin Park, Um, but I don't know if you guys watch. No, I knew what you meant. I knew exactly what you meant. Um, I don't know if you guys watched America's Got Talent um several years ago because it's been probably or 5 or 10 years since I've watched it. Um, there was a group of guys, and I actually got pissed off when they were on. They weren't bad, like they were great performers, but they called themselves Lincoln Bridge. And I'm like, me being a Lincoln Park fan, I'm like, all right, are you guys taking a pot shot at Lincoln Park or is this something genuine? Um, so I was a little bit, I reacted a little bit adversely to Lincoln Bridge because of, uh, my dedication to Lincoln Park. Um, I don't even know what Lincoln Bridge is still doing, if they're doing anything. I feel like when you go on those stupid ass shows, and you don't win, like I know some of them who don't win end up having better careers, but there's so many of them that just kind of disappear into the void after that. Um,
Yeah.
that's why they call it, like 15 minutes of fame. Um,
What you call it? I think it was The Voice. There was a brother duo called the Swan Brothers. They came in.
yeah,
They came in third place.
and it's weird that you say that because you look at something like America's Got Talent or American Idol or The Voice, and you get those people that don't necessarily win, but go on to have better careers. And in the case of the Swan Brothers and even Carrie Underwood, I don't know if Carrie
Carrie
won.
won.
Okay, Carrie did win, but I, those are very strange anomalies in the sense that you forget that's where they come from because they become so much bigger than where they came from
Oh,
or where they got their start.
well, look at Miranda Lambert. I think she was on Nashville Star.
And see, I never watched that.
I didn't watch it
Um,
either, but I know that when the Swan Brothers got third place on The Voice, she told
mhm.
them, she's like, "Look at me, third place ain't always bad."
And see, I never knew that she was connected with any uh talent show. Um, I mean, look at uh Adam Lambert,
Yeah,
who the whole reason that he didn't win, and this is shitty, but one of the main reasons that he didn't win when he was going up against Chris what's his nuts um was because the industry at the time or people in charge didn't think that it was going to be beneficial to have an openly gay uh star that came from American Idol. But where's Chris Allen now? We don't know because he doesn't do anything anymore.
yeah.
Um, and Adam obviously is performing with
I was about
Queen.
to say,
Like, you don't get better than that. Um, I mean, the whole talent show thing irritates the piss out of me, but it is a very unique part of the industry now, and it's
I used to watch The Voice religiously, and like I think it was the first season. There was I think they were married, a husband wife duo called Ellen Owen. They
oh my god, why do I remember them?
The guy was singing,
Wow.
and then when he stopped singing and the woman started singing, the camera was on Blake Shelton. He's like, "The hell?" And then he's like, "Okay, I've got to see what's going on." And he hit the button and turned around, and when he realized it was a woman and a man both up there, he's like, at the end of the performance, he was like, "I thought you just changed your voice. I didn't know it was two of you."
Well, there have been several instances where a guy has come out and done a song where it's a male and a female vocal, and he switched his voice up.
I saw
Um,
that in person. Back in 2018, we had tickets to go see Thompson Square,
yeah.
and his wife was sick and couldn't make the show, so he did the whole show by himself. And I can't remember what
Wow.
song it was he was singing, but when it got to her part, he goes, and then she sings, and he changed his voice, and he sounded like a woman, and like the arena just erupted because nobody expected it.
Wow. Yeah, like I give all the credit in the world to the guys that can do that. And I'm not flip it the other way around. The girls that can deepen their
Yeah,
voice, yeah. I give all the credit in the world to them too. Um
yeah, because
yeah,
I can't go too high, and I can't get very low.
yeah.
So
It's wild. Um I'm not going to remember all of the stuff I wanted to talk about, but I do know that um you know what? I'm going to look at the thumbnail that I made to see if it gives me any other fucking indication as to what I wanted to talk about. Because I hate this shit. I hate not remembering.
yeah, and with the way my schedule's
Uh,
being, I came into this not realizing what we were going to talk about today.
yeah, no, that's fine. Um, did we talk about? Yeah, we talked about the. No, did we talk about the Power Rangers thing
We was
before?
talking about it before we
Since
went
we.
live.
Oh, okay. Um,
She called you a scatterbrain.
yeah, that's what happens when you get old. Um,
I ain't old.
I don't deny.
I'm seasoned or
No,
experienced.
no.
I was told when we went last week and got our haircut, the woman's trimming my beard, and she's like, "There's like three different colors in your beard." She said, "I see brown. There's a little bit of red." I said, "There's gray." She goes, "Yep, that's just your wisdom." And I was like, "You hear that, Courtney? I got wisdom."
um, yeah, I got to get something done with my hair. I'm trying to. I don't know. As far as the whole Power Rangers thing goes, like I was telling you, I was amped up because of all of, and this is the problem with being able to hack and chop and put promotional things together. And I've learned this as I've put promotional things together for any of the things that we do. You know, you, me, and Amanda. Um, so I know the methods and I know the objective, but when you put something together like a trailer for a 30th anniversary special for something that is as big as Power Rangers still is, and you make it look more eye catching than it really is, you're setting yourself up for, especially in the digital age and the age of social media, you're setting yourself up for a lot of people really voicing their opinion. Um, because what we were made to understand from the time they announced the 30th anniversary special was that it was somehow going to lead into the new season that's coming up called Cosmic Fury. Now, Cosmic Fury is going to be the first full season under the Hasbro umbrella because since Hasbro bought the property, um, and it's going to be exclusively on Netflix. Um, what we were made to believe, and nobody dispelled these rumors. So I think, it's partially their fault that we all kind of think this way. I'm not saying that the 30th anniversary special was bad, but it didn't give us any indication as to what we can expect from Cosmic Fury, because in 93, obviously there were 6 Rangers. Well, not 93. That didn't happen until 94 or 95. But no, actually the 6th Ranger did, or Tommy came in almost at the end of season 1. So he was there for almost all 3 seasons, full seasons. Um but why do why do I keep having brain lapse? Um Son of a bitch, what the hell is going on with my head today? I hate this shit. Like, I really do. Um but when you have something that is so big and you hack and chop it to make it look one way and you present it in another way, you're going to get backlash. Um because obviously we no longer have Jason Frank, who played the Green
Yeah.
Ranger. I believe it was 2000, was it 2006, that the actress who played the original Yellow Ranger passed away in a car accident. I believe it was 2006. Um, so they did the right thing in uh, adding into the 30th anniversary special. They put a character in there who ended up being the daughter of Trini Kwan, who was the Yellow Ranger. And in the beginning of the episode, or of the anniversary episode, and then I think this is what bothered me, because I didn't understand what they were doing. They were using, you know how they say when you hear like canned laughter, like an audio track laughter, you're literally hearing people that died back in the
Mm.
50s. Um, what they did, and I think it was misleading, was when they did the trailer, the only ones that were talking were the actors that played Billy Cranston and Zach Taylor, the blue and green, or the blue and black Rangers. Um, and then the ones who played um, the second Red Ranger and the second Pink Ranger. Um, Cat Hillard and Rocky Santos. That's the characters. So that's the only people we saw out of costume, and the only ones that were talking in the trailer. When it got to um, the first scene of uh, the anniversary special, they used audio from 1993. Um, and I'm curious to see how fans are going to react to that, because when I say that, I mean they had all 6 Rangers there. You didn't see the Yellow Ranger without her helmet. You didn't see the Green Ranger without the helmet. You didn't see the Red Ranger or the Pink Ranger without the helmet, because obviously they weren't the original actors, because the first Red Ranger is going through some shit legally and he can't be part of it and he can't leave the country, and they filmed in New Zealand. And then the Pink Ranger, for some whatever reason, didn't want to be involved. Um so you didn't see them um without their helmets. What happened in the first scene was Rita Repulsa, the original villain for the show, came back, attacked the Rangers, um, and ended up capturing what we were led to believe was the original red, original yellow, the original green, and original pink. Um, so we never saw those actors without their helmets. Um, the problem I have is when you see the fight sequence with all of them fighting Rita Repulsa, or the robot version of her that apparently is now a thing. Um, when you see all of them fighting and you listen to what's going on, they have Jason Frank's voice. They have Tui Trang, who played Trini Kwan. They have her voice. Um, they have Austin St. John, uh, who played um, Jason Scott. Um, and they had Amy Jo Johnson's voice track from the '90s series. And you're thinking, wait a second, we were told that some of these people weren't going to be involved. You're hearing this, but you're never seeing them. So I think the way that they did it irritated the piss out of me, because they're making you believe one thing and then presenting you with another.
Yeah.
And that was probably a long-winded way of going about it, but I had to
That,
make sure that my brain didn't lapse again. Um,
I mean, that would annoy me because I had a huge crush on Amy Jo Johnson, and if I heard her voice and couldn't see her face, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna just be honest. I mean, she's still very attractive, but even looking at um, Catherine Sutherland, who played Kat Hillard, the second Pink Ranger, um, Steve Cardenas, who played Rocky Santos, the second Red Ranger, um, to see them, I almost am glad that Amy Jo Johnson wasn't involved, because to see them, they're fucking old. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I've seen pictures of Amy Jo Johnson from not that long ago on stage with her guitar and wearing the Pink Ranger suit.
That was 10 years ago. That was
Was
still a
it 10
decade.
years ago?
That was still a decade ago, I
I thought
believe.
it wasn't all that long ago.
No, that was. I think at earliest it may have been 2015 or 2016, but still, that she does. She definitely doesn't look like she did 6, 7 years ago. Age is catching up to her. But if you look at Catherine Sutherland, back when she was Kat Hillard on the original series, and you look at Catherine Sutherland now, she's old. Like, I don't think they made her look old. I think she's just old. Um, because figure, uh, when Jason Frank passed away, he was 49. Granted, he was in better shape than any of the other actors because he's a martial artist, and because he actively, practiced on a daily basis. Um, so he definitely, I was shocked to know that he was that old. Didn't even cross my mind. To look at Austin St. John, who played Jason Scott, he's still, I'm not going to say he still looks like his younger self, because he doesn't. Um, he is unfortunately heavier than his former self. Um, so he's definitely visibly different than what fans would remember. Although he's gotten a little bit better since he's been doing the convention scene. And that's another thing. Jason Frank was the first one from any of the Ranger series to start doing conventions. He was the one that brought all of the rest of the Rangers who are now doing the convention scene. He was the one that convinced all of them to start doing it because he saw the benefit in doing it. It took forever for him to convince Amy Jo Johnson to start doing it, because she didn't. When she left the show, it was still kind of in its infancy because it was. I think she left in the second season, so I don't think she fully understood how big the show got and how big the franchise itself got until he finally dragged her to a convention with him, and then she saw it. Um, but I don't know. I As far as the anniversary special, like I said, we were led to believe that Min, who is the daughter of Trini Kwan, um, the young girl that plays Min, oh my god, like she is a martial artist in real life, and the moves that she did are very reminiscent of Twee Trang, who played Trini, and Jason Frank, because they were both legitimate martial artists. Um, so while I do think, um, I do think that there was a stunt double for Charlie Kirsch who played Min. I think that just as equally, I think she did some of her own stunts as well because she's that damn good.
Yeah.
Um, she may not have done her stunts while she was morphed, like in the suit. That may have been like a stunt coordinator or a stunt double. Um, but she was out of out of the suit. She was damn good. Um, and Denise, you're right. Jason Frank did carry that show. Which I I don't think any other Ranger. I don't think it's gonna do any other Ranger actor to deny that fact because of the amount of times that different directors for different series or different seasons asked him to come back. Um, he was the only Ranger that appeared in I think something like 260 episodes. And that's not, and that's also counting the fact that Dino Thunder was entirely a season about Dr. Tommy Oliver. He had become a paleontologist, for Christ's sake. But in Dino Thunder, he became sort of the Zordon of the show because he ended up being the mentor to the Ranger team. Um, but I felt like, at least as far as dialogue and maybe some of the scene sequences, I felt like it was too similar to the 20th anniversary, which is actually something that they had to redo and re-release because the original version of 20th anniversary, which was called the Legendary Battle, um, they had to re-release it because the fans got on social media and said that was absolutely terrible and does not do a damn thing for the franchise. Um, so they put more of a fight sequence in, even though it was only 45 or 50 seconds more of footage. They put a longer fight sequence into the 20th anniversary. I feel like with the 30th anniversary, there are going to be some Ranger diehards who are going to pick that anniversary special apart. It's just he was almost all the colors: white, green, red. Yeah, he was black in Dino Thunder. He was the Brachio Ranger. Black the Black Ranger in Dino Thunder was the Brachio Ranger or something like that. Um, but yeah, he was. Although now that I'm thinking of it, damn it, Denise, why did you put that in my head? Now that I'm thinking of it, I almost, I almost want to laugh because my brain is now envisioning Jason David Frank as the Pink Ranger.
I didn't want that in my head. I'm fussing at my. I mute my mic, fuss at my dog for barking, and I hear, "No, I'm envisioning him as the Pink Ranger." Come on, man.
You're welcome. Blame Denise. She was the one that was reminding me of all the colors.
Yeah, but you're the one that said that. Now you're envisioning him as a
I
Pink
don't care.
Ranger.
I don't care. It's Denise's fault, and I only say
She
that
might have
because
put the thought in your head, but you're the one that said it.
she's the one that made me say it. Um,
But had
all roads lead back to Denise,
but
and
had you not said it, it wouldn't be in my head now.
I'm not sorry.
I need to
I'm only
bleach my brain now.
I'm only saying that now because she's not on camera and or with us and can't yell at me for it. But yeah, all roads lead back to her being the reason that you now have Jason Frank in a Pink Ranger uniform with the skirt.
Oh, screw you, dude. Now I'm about to like take some bleach, pour it in my ear, see if it'll like get stuck in the middle, and I can shake my head around and clean my brain out.
Now I want to. You know what? After this, yeah. And now that you actually said California Girl and capitalized it, now I got the Beach Boys stuck in my head, which I'm not disappointed. Um,
I mean, that's better than a pink Tommy. Come on.
no, but when we're done with this stream, you and I need to get on a video call and go on DeviantArt. That I'm a mess today, dude.
Pink Tommy's got you excited you're knocking your mic over.
Um, no, we got to get on a video call and go on DeviantArt and see if we can see if anybody has ever drawn Jason David Frank in a Pink Ranger uniform, because now I just need to see if it exists. And he's going on DeviantArt on his phone.
How'd you know?
Because you're looking down. I'm like, he's got his phone in his hand. He's got DeviantArt on his phone. Yeah. No, don't leave, Denise. Damn it. Although I will say you should get a webcam for your computer so you can be on stream with us. That would be awesome.
Okay,
That
so
would
I
be cool.
typed in Jason David Frank Pink Ranger, and it's not bringing him up in no pink outfits. So it looks like the fans respect him enough not to do that.
I mean, I have an art program.
Oh, come on, don't do that.
I'm not that good. I'm not good enough to be able to do that, but I do have an art program. I could. It would look like hell, but
it's about how I feel now after the night I've had.
But no, I hope now if I ever see his or Jason's youngest daughter at a convention, that doesn't pop back into my head, because she's also a martial artist, and if I ever actually convey that idea to her, she'd probably turn me into quadriplegic. The eye patch, it's just not for looks. I still need to look at. I didn't know why. Oh, it didn't even cross my mind that you had an eye patch because I never paid attention to your display photo. That never even crossed my mind. The eye patch is a fashion statement. You don't need to worry about that. I mean, I look like a bearded hobbit, and then there's whatever Chad is. So I
You look like
mean,
the .com version of Yukon Cornelius.
there's only a certain age group that's going to understand that.
Yeah, but we're all still on YouTube.
Yeah, but the thing is, that particular age group that's going to understand that reference does not watch what we do because they're actually normal
I
people.
mean, there's more of an age group that's going to understand it than you think because Adriana knows who Yukon Cornelius is.
That's be- that's because by proxy, because you're her father.
And that's going to be all the other kids whose parents still watches Rudolph every holiday season.
Oh
I'm just waiting on you to go, wahoo! Nothing.
no,
If you can talk about a pink Tommy, you can do the wahoo nothing.
I'm not saying that on a live stream. I'm like something because because it has to do with an inside joke that we torture Amanda with in the group chat. Think about a pink grimace, but calling it a pink Tommy.
Oh my god. Is it still furry?
No, by virtue of it being connected to a Power Rangers, it's got the pterodactyl on the end of it.
Oh my god.
You really can't sit down.
By the way, Denise wants you to go wahoo.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying that either because I don't.
Is it too many inside jokes?
No, I just don't know how that would be. I don't know how my sense of humor would be received in that regard. So I'm not saying that online either or on live stream either. Wow.
Welcome to the chaotic portion of the Not So Morning Rant.
Right?
Awkward silence.
No, like I'm debating whether I want to say it because I think Denise is used to my humor enough, but at the same time, I don't know where the line is. I want to say it so bad. Oh wow. Wow, yeah, this is chaos. Nice. Denise, as long as you explicitly tell me that you will not hate me for what's going on in my head right now, I will tell you what I'm thinking as long as you promise not to come to the East Coast and kill me. Oh,
No, now we're both just looking at the chat to see if she replies.
yeah. Where's the fucking Jeopardy music when you need it?
Dang, I'm gonna have to download that to my phone for just
Yeah.
this.
No, we'd actually get taken down if you did that. Yeah, copyright. Go ahead, I'm nice. Yeah, well, this might change your tune. As far as the whole Yukon Cornelius phrase that you want me to say, the first thought that came to my head and it has to do with literally what you just said about your eye patch. My brain goes, as soon as you can say it to me and look in both of my eyes, I'll do it.
Oh wow.
See, this is why I try not to say the shit that goes on in my head, because it's not going to be perceived as nice.
Well, she just lolled it,
Yeah, I know.
and I think
Um,
that's the first and only time I'm going to say that.
yeah, I was wondering why you actually read it as a word. Um,
What's life without whimsy?
I don't know. Wow, we didn't even. I'm gonna. You know what? As soon as we sign off, I'm gonna remember. You know what?
It's almost
And
unfair. She can hear us cackling, we can't hear her.
see, the thing is, it says there's two people watching, so I'm wondering who the second person is that's watching. Um, and with my luck, it's gonna be Amanda when I say this. Um, but it's I think it's okay to be cackling, but at least you're not, or at least you don't have you on a video on a live stream snort laughing.
Yeah, yeah.
uh Now watch, that second person who's watching is gonna be Amanda, and she's gonna yell at me.
You're like Ryan with the middle face emoji. I mean, the middle finger emoji.
Yeah, we can only hope that she's actually working right now. Maybe, I don't know. Oh wow, but yeah,
Denise snort laughs.
I snort laugh, no shame. um, but no, I think that because I actually want to remember the things that I was going to talk about, and maybe save them for another stream. I'll actually write them down this time. Um, you and I'll get on a voice chat and or video chat and peruse through DeviantArt and just kind of shoot the shit for a little while. But I wanted to do this because obviously I haven't been doing live streams every morning like I had been. Um, just because too many things have been getting in the way. Like there's just too much going on right now. Um, but I think next time, maybe, uh, maybe whatever day you have that you're free again, we'll actually talk about the whole story with the podcaster. Um, Next time we're on. So
Well, I'm off tomorrow,
cool. Then we'll do that tomorrow.
and then
you just
Friday I
you
have
just
to
set that up well for me.
adult. The Friday I have to be a responsible adult again and go to work.
God, you're so boring. All
Well,
right, we're gonna sign off and go make more inside jokes that we can't talk about online or allude to online. Um, but Denise, thank you for hanging around. It definitely made it more interesting to actually have continuous interaction. I think that made it all the more better, all the better. Wow.
I mean, come on, you're close enough to the South. More better is an acceptable phrase.
Yeah, but being short, I'm also closer to hell too. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah, but your feet's at the same level as everybody else, so you're going to hit hell at the same time.
No, my feet are at the perfect level to kick somebody in the nuts. Just a warning. All right. On that note, we're gonna sign off. Denise, enjoy your lunch.
This was
We'll
fun.
be back. We'll be back tomorrow because um, it's definitely I think a heavy topic we have to talk about tomorrow.
Definitely.
Um, but it relates to a lot of the things that we're doing. Um, but yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Later.